AI, it seems to be everywhere at the moment, and with the explosion of ChatGPT as well as some other AI tools, it seems that every sector, including photography, is jumping on board the AI bandwagon. Now, with the debate raging, there are passionate voices on both sides of the fence. Some are advocating the use of AI as a tool for enhancing our photography and making photography more accessible to everyone. On the other hand, equally passionate and persuasive voices are telling us that AI will spell the end of photography as we know it, and that the real skill of photography is slowly being diluted through the use of AI. So, where do I sit in this debate? Well, I'm not really sure just yet. I can certainly see the benefits as well as the drawbacks, but I also think it's worth remembering that we've been using AI in photography for a very, very long time. It just wasn't called AI until fairly recently. So facial detection or facial recognition is a really good example of a very long-standing, well-established form of AI technology that we've been using in photography for a long time. And there are others, of course, but what's different now is that camera manufacturers and editing software companies are specifically using the term AI to describe some of their features. And one of these new features that's come under the spotlight recently is the new Lightroom Classic feature known as AI noise reduction. Now, this feature was released back in, I think, April 2023, and it's something I've been experimenting with over the last few months to clean up my images when I have some mild digital noise caused by higher ISOs. Now, mostly these images have been from things like weddings where I've had to shoot indoors with no flash, and I must say that I've been really impressed, and I mean completely blown away by Lightroom's AI noise reduction. However, I haven't yet tried pushing the ISO beyond a few hundred, and my sensor is pretty good at managing digital noise. So in today's video, I'm going to be putting the AI through its paces and testing it on some images I've taken that range from ISO 5000 all the way up to ISO 20000. I'll be looking specifically at whether the AI noise reduction tool can reduce the noise whilst also maintaining the details, the colour saturation, and crucially the sharpness of the details within the images. Can AI succeed, and what does this mean to us as photographers? Well, stick around to the end of the video and find out more. My name's Steve, this is Behind the Tripod, and let's open up Lightroom. Okay, so I'm in Lightroom now, and I have 4 images that I'm going to be working on, and these 4 images are down below, with the green ones being the standard image and the red images are the ones where I've applied the AI tool to. All I've done is a little bit of very light editing for these images. They're all edited in the same way, so editing isn't an issue. It's simply the only difference is the AI that I've used on them. So to use the AI as a quick tutorial, click develop, and it's about halfway down underneath the basic tonal curve. You all the way down to where you would normally find our details tab. We've got our sharpening, and it's here. You click Denoise, and in Denoise it gives you a preview, and you can then choose how much denoise you want to apply, all the way from 0% to 100%. And I've found for these about 70% worked really well, between 70 and 80 depending on the image. Okay, let's go back to library. So what I want to do is compare the images and look at these images side by side. So I'm just going to click on our X and Y here, compare view. We've got the selected one is the green one, the original image. The candidate one, the one I want to look at next, is the red image. Okay, and that one is our, that's our edited image. Let's pull them up close. Okay, so we can see here, I brought it nice and big. So I don't know if you can see this due to the YouTube compression, but already at ISO 5000, this is the original one. There's some noise here in the shadows. I'm going to the noisy shadows and I'm going to the tree bark. That's where we'll likely to lose details. And in here, it's done a pretty good job, I have to say. There's detail in the bark, there's detail in the branches and in the leaves. And in the shadows there, we've lost all that digital noise. I'm already very impressed. 5000 is the highest that I've pushed this so far. Normally it's under 1000 that I would work. Let's change it now. Let's go for our select image. We're going to look at one now that's ISO 6400 or 6400. Okay, candidate version is our denoise version again. So let's come in nice and close. Okay, let's wait for the computer to catch up. All right, and again, pretty good that. That's really good. Yeah, look at the detail we've got here. In the leaves, we've got nice detail in the darks there. We've lost any digital noise. I'm not sure if this is coming across in YouTube because of the compression, but that's really, really good. Look at here along these branches. It's quite noisy in the image on the left, but the image on the right, lovely and clean. We've still got that detail in all the leaves. Okay, looking good then, looking promising. So that's 6400. What happens now if we take this up to 10,000? Now I haven't looked at these images, so this will be a surprise to me. So 10,000 now. Go to our candidate. This is the denoised version. My computer's a bit slow, so I'll have to wait for a moment for it to load. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. That is incredible. Look at the detail. I'm hoping this picks up on YouTube, but the detail in here and these leaves compared with the left image where it's extremely noisy down here in some of these shadows, it's kept all that, but the detail it's got in those leaves is outstanding. Wow. Look up here. Look at these up here. Really noisy here, really gravelly and really sort of really gritty. And over here is nothing, and it's kept the details. That's outstanding. That's ISO 10,000, and that to me looks like a clean, sharp image. I mean, I was taking these, you won't know from the images, it was dark when I was taking these images, it was hard to focus, so I did the best that I could in the conditions I was in. It looked like, because the ISO was so high, but actually it was getting quite dark. Oh, look at this up here. Completely different. Wow. That's incredible. Right. Different image now. We're going to go all the way up to ISO 20,000. Okay. Let's start with our select. This is the original. Go to our candidate. Put in this up. Wow. I don't even know which part of the image I'm looking at here. Oh, it's a small post. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is absolutely incredible. How this AI has managed to pull out the shapes from this sort of mass of noise. Wow. That is outstanding. That is amazing. Look at this. It's pulled out all the leaves. There's just this sort of mess. I'm hoping this comes across on YouTube. I've got a whole mess here of just sort of digital noise. Doesn't look like anything. And on here, it's managed to pick out the leaves. Details are all in here. And this is a really noisy image. This was almost pitch black when I took this image, to give you an idea of the conditions I was shooting in. Very hard to focus. A little bit, maybe a bit of an error there, a bit of an artifact there, but that could be easily fixed in Photoshop. That wouldn't be an issue. The fact that I took this image in the near dark, it's very, very dark by this point in these woods. Look at that detail in these leaves. Absolutely outstanding. I don't even know how it's done that. Wow. Wow. Let's look at the image as a whole. Yeah, I mean, from a distance on here, not a lot of difference. But when you come in close, if I was printing this off and printing it nice and large, you would definitely see the difference. And I'm just absolutely amazed at that. Absolutely incredible. Look at the details in here, these twigs. Absolutely beautiful. Again, bit of an error here. Again, easily fixed in Photoshop, but it's just sort of, it's lost a branch. But if you look at the other side, I'm not surprised there's nothing much there. So there are a few little errors if you're really pixel peeking, but I'm completely blown away by that. Absolutely incredible. All right. Okay. Wow. So I don't know what you think. I'm completely blown away by that Denoise AI tool. That's incredible. At the start of this experiment, I really thought I'd be telling you something along the lines that, you know, it's okay at lower to moderate noise, but if you pushed it too high, it would really start to struggle, particularly for keeping some of the finer details sharp. I thought you'd lose some of the sharpness, it would get a bit soft. But it's completely surpassed all my expectations. That is a really, really powerful tool for us photographers. If I had to criticize it, I would say the only thing I can pull out is that it's very slow to apply the changes, but that could also be just my computer, and it probably uses a lot of computer power to make those changes. So it's a small thing, and in the grand scheme of things, I just don't think is a problem compared with how amazing this tool is. But what do I think this means for the future of photography? Well, aside from things like astrophotography, nighttime street photography, and perhaps some other niche areas of photography, you're not likely to regularly be shooting at ISO 10,000 or ISO 20,000. That being said, I really wanted to run this experiment to look at what it might mean for people with older cameras or for new photographers shooting with those cheap or a second-hand camera. You see, if budget's a consideration for you, you might well choose to buy a second-hand camera to get you started. And to be perfectly honest, that's exactly what I usually recommend most people do for their first camera, as it's a relatively cheap way to dip your toes into the world of photography. But for a lot of these older cameras, digital noise can be a real issue, even at what we'd say by modern standards are relatively low ISOs. This is just because camera sensors and technology has really advanced massively over the last decade. So as far as I see it, the really good news is that this test has, well, at least shown me that you can now use AI with your older or your second-hand cameras to still produce really decent images that are clean and sharp, even at quite high ISOs. So that means that even if you're a beginner or if you're photographing on a budget, you can use a cheaper camera to still produce pretty decent images. So the lesson for me is don't be put off by your kit. So go grab your camera, whack up the ISO and experiment, and please let me know in the comments how you get on, if you've used the Lightroom AI Denoise tool before, or if you've even used something else. There's lots of AI tools out there at the moment to help you denoise your images. And also, if you're new to photography, or if you feel you need a bit of a refresher and would like to know how to compose a shot, watch this video here.